Hey there, and welcome to Wednesday's Wisdom. I'm Diane Conklin with Complete Marketing Systems and Diane'sDozen.com. I'm going to talk about process versus result because this has been really interesting. You may or may not know I played Division One college softball a long time ago in college at the University of Missouri. And so, especially this time of the year, as we get into the conference tournaments and the World Series is coming up. The NCAA tournament starts later this week. Um, I tend to watch more softball, and I've attended several games this year and last year, and it's just fun for me. But I keep hearing the commentators talk about how softball is a process-oriented sport. Now, I don't know, and that's what matters more than the result. And I'm confused by this because to me and to my way of thinking, yeah, softball is a game of failure, like any sport, right? I mean, if you bat 300 in softball or baseball, you're a good hitter. Now, if you only completed 30 as a quarterback, only completed 30% of your passes, that wouldn't be very good. So it varies sport to sport. But here's the thing, there is a lot of resilience in sports. It is a lot of mental, the importance of the mental game is there as far as making adjustments and doing those things, right? But this idea that it's processes, right? And the thing that they talk about is that they focus on the process, the approach, the effort, the technique, and then that's more important than the results, which is wins, hits, and scores as a hitter or as a team. And I'm like, I understand that there's a process a pitcher goes through. I also understand that process is different for every pitcher, or potentially, right? Even throwing the exact same pitch, because their mechanics are a little different, their body is different, whatever it is. But in the end, it doesn't matter how you get there. What matters is the end result. What matters is, did you get a hit or was it an out? Did you strike out? Did you strike out looking or did you strike out swinging? I mean, did you score the run when you had no outs and a runner on third base? Or did you leave the runner stranded? That's a result. And that's what's important. That's what we measure. It's the same in business. Most of the time, it doesn't matter what your process is. Sometimes it does. I mean, let's face it, sometimes it does. But most of the time it doesn't. All that most bosses, all that most businesses care about is the end result, right? Did we make the sale? Did we serve the client? Did we do good work? Did we put out our best effort? What did the numbers say, right? Those are the results that matter, because in the end, that's how you put money in your bank account. As a business owner, whether you want to think about it this way or not, the purpose of the business is for you to make money, right? And for you to sustain your family and the families of the people that work for you, put money, move money in the community, whatever the thing is, right? But the purpose of business is to make money most of the time. And so that's how we measure. It's just like in sports. We measure based on wins and losses. We measure based on who won, who scored the most points, runs, baskets, whatever the thing is. And so if you have some input into this, I would love to start a conversation about this. But to me, again, which result do you want? Do you want to bat 200? Do you want to bat 400? We can talk about, yeah, the process is important. And let's take basketball. Let's take shooting, right? Yeah, the process is important. Tuck your elbow under, get your hand up, all of those different things. But even in that, if you watch any amount of basketball, you know that every shooter is a little different. Steph Curry, who's one of the greatest shooters of all time, and I'm not having a GOAT conversation, so shoots different than LeBron, whether you like either one of those or not, right? There's a woman that plays in the WNBA who has both labyrinths in her shoulders are torn. And her shot just looks bizarre, but it goes in, right? It's Elise Thomas. But this idea that it's the process and not the result is totally foreign to me. And I think it's a bad precedent that we're setting. As a former Division I athlete, I think about, going up to bat. Yeah, you can hit the ball hard, but if you hit it right at somebody, it's an out. Period. It doesn't matter if it was hit right out somebody on a line drive or if it was a fly ball. It does, or a ground ball, right? It does matter, but an out is an out. A strike is a strike, and a win is a win. A run is a run. Um, and so I just think that everything, and yeah, maybe I'm too measurement focused, right? But um, at the end of the day, and since we started talking about this at softball, at the end of the day, the result is important in college softball because if you're not at least 500 in your record, doesn't matter anything else, RPI, strength of schedule, none of that matters. At the end of the day, if you don't finish the season with as many wins as you have losses, at least, you don't even get considered to go to the tournament. That's a pretty results focused sport, if you ask me. And business is the same way. What's the result that you want? I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you want help with some of your results, if you'd like to increase your revenues and increase the results that you're getting, reach out. Let's have a conversation. That's what I do. It's what I've been doing for a long time, and it's what I'm really good at, is helping businesses grow from where they are now to where they want to be. And most businesses want to be at a different place, making more money, affecting more lives, whatever your measurement or your result is at the end of the year, and I can help you get there. I'm Diane Conklin with Complete Marketing Systems and Diane'sDozen.com. That's today's Wednesday's Wisdom. Let me know what you think. Until next time, make it a great day.